Okay, so this video is going to be about making a Celtic knot using a SketchUp, which would allow you to be able to laser cut a Celtic knot, or make a puzzle out of with my Glowforge, or with a Glowforge in case you're not in my class. Here's an example of the one that I did last night. I took the one that I had drawn recently, and I created it on SketchUp. This is just a visual thing that I'm able to print out if I wanted to. This one, I could laser cut all these pieces and turn it into a puzzle, which I intend to do later on. Anywho, so we're going to go File, New, Save Changes. No, I don't need to save changes. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the internet and find a Celtic knot. You could, if you're in my class, you could take the actual Celtic knot that I, we're going to keep this simple. We're going to stick with the square one. The Celtic knots that I have in class, you could do as I did, which is to draw out the one that you're working on, and then later on when you want to make your own, you could make a puzzle of the one that you're working on in my class. I'm going to find one that I think is going to work pretty easily for this one. I know which one I'm actually looking for. Let's do square Celtic knot. See if I can find the one that there it is. That's the one I'm looking for right there. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use the snipping tool to take a picture of that. I'm going to File, Save As, whatever, onto my desktop, and save, close that, and close that. And now in SketchUp I can File, Import, whatever, which is right there. Put that in here. I'm going to go ahead and intentionally make this huge for reasons that will become important later on. I went to Camera, Standard Views, Top.
Please get ready for the daily bulletin and the pledge. Please stand.
Now I'm going to, this thing is grouped, so nothing's going to stick to it while I work.
I pledge allegiance
I'm going
to
to
the flag
start
of
out
the
by
United
creating a
States of
square.
America, and to the republic for
So I'm
which
going to look
it
down on the
stands,
right here,
one
down in the bottom
nation,
corner of the screen. It
under
says
God,
739 by
indivisible, with
719.
liberty and
So I'm going to
justice
pick
for
one of
all.
those two numbers and I'm going to make it square. So I'm going to do 7. I'm going to go ahead and do 740. 740, comma 740, which makes a square about the same size of my thing.
Can your friends make a movie in a few weeks? Leadership is organizing Centerville's first film festival. Come to G1 next Thursday at lunch to learn more about the competition. Thank you and have a nice day.
I deleted the interior of that square.
Good morning, Centerville. I hope you're having a good morning so far. The kindest quote of the day is, make someone smile today. Thank you and have a nice day.
Let's see. I'm going to try to even this thing out a little bit. Okay. So now I'm going to make a grid. So to make this easier on myself, I'm going to just copy and paste everything. Bring that over here. Then I'm going to delete the Celtic knot. And I'm going to take the ruler and I'm going to go to the midpoint. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here, midpoint. I'm going to draw a line here, 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 and actually I'm going to not. I'm going to select this line here. I'm going to move this line to the midpoint and then do that again. And then I'm going to move from this midpoint to that midpoint. And then I'm going to just keep doing that until I can. I'm just going to use midpoints to basically grid this thing out into 8. I'm going to go ahead and select this line at the top, which unfortunately is going to involve me having to do that. It's allowed me to select that. Notice if you go from left to right, it's going to select everything. If you go from right to left, it's only going to select things that it entirely goes all the way around. I'm going to take this and I'm going to control copy to there, and control copy to there, control copy to there, control copy to there, control copy to there. Each time I'm going to a midpoint. And in the end, I've created a grid that's 8 by 8 by 8. It would have been ideal if I had deleted the interior surface before I did all those lines. Because now I'm going to have to do all this to get rid of those surfaces. If I had deleted the surface ahead of time, then I would, before I did all this, would have been a lot faster. Not select that line. And delete. So now I have a grid, and I'm going to take that whole grid, I'm going to right click, I'm going to make it a group. Okay. I am now going to move that grid on top of my Celtic knot, put it right where I want it. Okay. Because of the shape that I'm doing here, it's actually 8 of the same shape as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 8 different triangular shapes. I'm actually going to Control Z that, put that back over here. I'm going to do this and that, and then I'm going to go ahead and make that entire thing a group again. Oops, don't know why that happened. Not sure why, but oh, look at that. I think I can get it. Okay, I got rid of it all at one time. All right, so I'm going to create that grid because the only reason I'm putting those diagonals is because this particular Celtic knot is based on triangles, meaning this shape is the same as that shape. So I'm going to make this thing a group. I'm actually going to go ahead and delete that outside square there. And I'm going to move this one on top of this. And really, I'm only going to concern myself with, oh, actually, it worked really pretty nicely, meaning that I'm pretty centered right here. This shape right here is pretty centered right here. And when I go to the middle, it hit that spot, which is, you see where all these shapes all kind of combine together. They kind of move into that spot right there. This is hitting pretty nicely. It's interesting because that means that this side here is smaller than that one. One way or the other. I'm not going to be drawing the entire Celtic knot camera standard views top. I'm only going to be drawing an 1/8 of it. I'm only going to be drawing this section right here. And then the rest of it I'm just going to copy and paste. All right, so to do that, I'm going to start out up here. And I'm going to do this thing a little differently. I'm not going to try to copy it faithfully or exactly. I'm going to kind of do it to here. Kind of hard to see those lines because of that. And it's going to go all the way down to here. Okay, so I went from here, and then I went from here. I'm going to go from, oh, that's actually the halfway point. So I don't need to go up that way. I'm going to go from here to here. I'm going to go ahead and connect here to there. And I had to push the escape button to get rid of that little thing. I'm going to go from the center to there, escape, center. You'll understand why I'm doing all this in a second. Where is that line? I really wish I could see that line where that goes. I think it went there, which means that I did not take this line as far as I was supposed to. I went from there. Delete that line there. We'll do that line again. Where would that one start? That one started all the way up here, I think. From there, we go all the way down to here, actually, to the bottom, and come out to there. That's what I was trying to create, that actual shape there. Up here, and I'm going to actually make that a group right now. I can't because that thing's connected up there. I'm going to go ahead and kind of come across to here, across to there. Here, come all the way down to that point, and then come down and touch that line. Oops, I went too far. See, I went over the line. I don't want to do that. From here to here, I want to make sure that I don't cross that line anywhere, which means I'm going to do this differently. Control Y. Go back here. I need to go all the way from there. No, I'm not touching that line. I want to be touching that line. You don't have to be touching the line, but I really want it to be touching that line. I think that's close enough to that line. I'm going to delete this interior surface here so I can see the inside. So that line is still there. See? Now I'm going to draw the inside shape here. It'd be easier for you if you were drawing outside of these lines so you could see these lines better. See how I'm drawing sometimes over my black. Delete. All right, so there's that whole shape. That's actually pretty much everything I need to do for the entire thing. Strangely enough, I think it's all there. Except that I want to include all lines, so which means that I want to include this line here. Where this line goes across. I also want to include this line here. I think I have issues with this, but some things I'm not happy about it. But you'll get the general idea. Because we have this one, this one, this one, and this one. And this one down here. I'm going to copy and paste all of that and show you what I'm talking about here, because you might be confused. Okay, I'm going to make this thing a group. I'm going to copy and paste it. I want to see something, by the way. No, yeah, this is really that easy one. Now I'm going to scale it through itself and type -1, enter. And I'm going to connect these two. Oh, I left out a couple of lines. I left out this line right there. And that line right there. do this. I'm going to copy and I'm going to rotate this thing from here with the control button. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees, enter, times 3, enter. And that's the entire thing right there. Now, clearly I forgot to include, let me control Z. Actually, just control Y that back. Let's draw this line here. I'm going to edit this group. And I'm going to incorporate this line here. Yeesh, that's not very good. I mean, clearly I should be taking more time with this. And then let's see if I delete. Can I delete? I can't delete. I'm going to draw a line right here and right here. And I think that took care of it. If I delete this side now, I think I can delete, oops, Control Z. It still explode that. Delete that. Delete this. This. And then for some reason this thing. There we go. Now I'll make that a group. I can copy and paste and scale. It's interesting. This looks like Baby Yoda. Oh, I could totally do a Baby Yoda thing with this. Oh, that's interesting. -1, enter. Line those up with each other. And select them both. Right click, boom. Hold the control button down while I make a copy. 90 degrees, enter. X3, enter. Actually, it doesn't look like a Baby Yoda anymore. Okay. Now I'm going to take this whole thing, make a copy and paste. I'm copying and pasting as I go so that I can always go back if I want to. Now I'm going to explode them all. Uh-oh. Oh, man, you can see that I messed up. They're not lined up with each other. Must be precise. Degrees, enter, X3, enter. Still it doesn't work right. Which means that if I go back all the way to here, see it, I went over the edge. I went over that line. And that's why I'm having that problem. But I think I can just finesse my way around. But it shows you gotta be more careful in the future. So let's see, I'm going to now, actually I'm gonna copy and paste this whole thing. And I'm going to explode each of them. Checking them all, making sure. Oh no, see, I missed one. As I was worried that I might have. Okay, now I can erase as I go along. Let's see, this one's going to go that way. So this one goes over that, which means it's going under this one. And it's going, oof, this gets complicated. It's going over that one. Which means I'm missing a line here. Yeah, somehow I'm missing this line right here. So clearly I didn't, let's see, so this went over, under this one, goes over that one, which means it's going under this one. Yeah, I'm missing some lines here. It should go all the way over to here. So it's over this one, which means it's going under this one. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line while I'm at it. And get rid of all those, actually I don't know which that one, it's going under that one, which means it's going over this one, under this one. All right, let's follow that one along again. It's going over, it's going under, it's going over that one, under that one, over this one, under that one. Okay, this one went over, so it's going under this one. It's going over this one. Let's get rid of that. Over that one, which means it's going under this one, which I can't do right now because once again, I don't have this line right here. It's a mistake I made somewhere along the line. It's going over that one, so it's going under this one. It's going over this one, and it's going under this one. Under, which means this is going over this one, under that one, over, under, over, under, so that's where I needed this curve right there. It's going over this one, under that one, over this one, under that one, over that one, under that one, over, under, over, under. And I believe that's it. Clearly there were some small mistakes along the way. At this point, if I wanted to just have something to kind of look at, I could go Tools, Paint Bucket. I could pick colors. I can do this guy in brown. Oh, but this is actually one continuous knot. So that won't actually, you can't choose different colors for this one, easily at least. But you could color the whole thing in, which obviously if I'm gonna do the whole thing in one color, I'm gonna pick a more interesting color. Like green. You can also copy and paste to basically just the lines, leave only the lines. I'm deleting all these surfaces. And I would actually put a square around this, which I'd do more carefully. And we could laser cut that out as puzzle pieces. And that's pretty much the end of this video.